So according to ESPN, Caitlin Clark is the fourth most popular athlete on their platform. What this data means, I don't know. I really don't know. But it is a testament to, again, just how big Caitlin Clark is on this platform. Because, like, she's just bringing new eyes to the sport. And look, I don't think any of the people that are fans of Caitlin Clark, well, not even the people that are fans of Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, because I think Angel Reese has so many fans in general. I think there's a lot of basketball fans that are fans of Angel Reese because of how she plays. Like, there are people that are completely lying, saying they're fans of Angel Reese and have never watched her play the game of basketball. Like, the people that are saying Angel Reese is like a young A'ja Wilson. Like, there's not one similarity in their game except for the fact they both play the same position. But at the same time, there are people that don't watch the sport of basketball that are championing Caitlin Clark because, well, let's be real, they don't like Angel Reese. They don't like Angel Reese. They want to spew hate via Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese. They're not real fans. But I'm talking about actual fans of sport of basketball. Caitlin Clark has so many. Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are like 130 or so subscribers away from 10k. If we could somehow hit that by the end of the day, that would be absolutely insane. Like, it's mad. It's mad how much sport this channel has been getting released recently, and just thanks to everybody for that. Either way, though, we are now going to be talking about this right here. So, an ESPN reporter, Flora Kelly, said based on ESPN's personalization data, the WNBA has seen the largest year-on-year growth, 47% among sports with 1 million favorites. Caitlin Clark led all players with plus 373% month-on-month growth to become the fourth most favorited athlete, or active athlete, only behind LeBron James, Tiger Woods, and Stephen Curry. So, these are obviously three of the biggest athletes in the world, and like three of the most popular in the world. Especially, like, look, this is going to be a very American-centric list. It's ESPN. It's going to be a very American-centric, because if you're like, oh, they're the three most popular athletes in the world, probably in America. Tom Brady might be up there, but he's not active. Pat Mahomes, I'm surprised not to see him in that range, but like, this is basically a nothing situation. It's based on like favorites on a certain app, but at the same time, there is definitely going to be some sort of a correlation. But for everyone being like, oh, Caitlin Clark is only famous because of the 2023 National Championship game. Do you guys remember the first time Caitlin Clark went viral? This is why people remembered who Caitlin Clark was. If you've ever seen, I clicked on the wrong thing right there. I need to bring it up. But if you've ever seen the Caitlin Clark game that she had, I think it was against, I can't remember exactly who it was against. It was in her junior year in college, that she just went absolutely ham in a game when she was in her junior year. And she was like unplayably good. It was a quarter where she just took over in the fourth quarter. It was against Michigan. Like, this was the game. This was the reason why Caitlin Clark became famous. If you guys have not seen this game right here, Caitlin Clark literally was just pulling from. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, this is back in 2022, 70,000 likes. Like, this has millions of views. She was literally almost willed the team back into the game by shooting 35 footers like it was nothing in this game. And this was before Iowa were particularly good. And she kept doing the same thing. She can even do the same thing. Like, just look at these shots. Look what the hell is this? Like, she's being full court guarded by three of them, and they can't do anything to stop her. Like, it's absolutely berserk what Caitlin Clark has been doing since her sophomore year. She was brilliant as a freshman, but since her sophomore year, what she's been doing is like nothing we've ever seen before in women's basketball. And then she also played on a team that played at a breakneck speed. There's a reason why she has been the most popular female athlete since Serena Williams. Like, I'm trying to think of like unbelievably popular female athletes. Like, obviously, like Coco Gauff has the potential, probably not Serena Williams' potential, but she could be one of the biggest female athletes ever. Simone Biles has been up there. It really is. When it comes to like female athletics, the American athletes do tend to be more famous. But if you're talking about pure fame, Maria Sharapova has to be up there as well. Obviously, she was Russian. So you've got like, there are certain sports where people that are at the top of them, especially when it's a sport where there's more respect given towards women, like a tennis, like a gymnastics. The people that are at the very top of those sports are going to be more famous than a sport that historically hasn't been given as much respect. Whereas there are a lot of players like Aja Wilson, Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, Cheryl Swoops, even like Maya Moore, Breanna Stewart. All these players brought like credibility back into women's basketball. It brought like the respect back into women's basketball, because anyone who watched some of these players, like the people that just want to dunk on the WNBA, as the years have gone on, it became harder and harder to do that because the players just got better. So then the respect level had been there. And then Caitlin Clark comes along. Women's basketball had become a more respected sport because of all the greats of the past and a lot of the young players. And then she just comes along and just starts pulling from 40 like it's nothing. So obviously there is going to be a mania around that. There's going to be an absolute mania. And then, especially, I think a lot of the fans are like, I think a lot of the people that are being brought to these games are dads bringing their daughters to games because they're like, they want their daughters to be into sports. Like, that is my prediction for where a lot of the Caitlin Clark fans are, is that like a lot of the young kids are like, if you're a young kid and you're watching Caitlin Clark play basketball, you're going to be excited. Just like young kids when they watch Steph Curry. Like, let's not forget the mania around Steph Curry around 2015, 2016 was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. We can pretend like, oh, LeBron was the face and LeBron. But no, Stephen Curry for a couple of years. Kids did not want to be like LeBron. We hadn't seen it since Michael Jordan. Because kids were enamored, were in awe of a person shooting from 40 feet. We've all learned, we learned it from Steph Curry. We learned it from Jimmer, that the actual most exciting thing in basketball, especially for young people, is the three ball. And that is what Caitlin Clark has done. And people are like Sabrina Ionescu. No, Sabrina Ionescu did not have the pace of play that Caitlin Clark did. She just didn't. She was not as exciting. And I think you're now seeing a lot of young people, and this is not like, again, we're talking purely basketball. We're seeing a lot of young people. Those like young people resonated with Steph Curry. There are none of those players in men's basketball other than Steph Curry, and Steph Curry's getting old. Trae Young, to an extent, was that when he was in college, never really panned out. He's been brilliant in the NBA, but never really panned out as far as the shooter that people were expecting. There's never been a next Steph Curry. There's never been somebody doing that in the men's side. Whereas on the women's side, especially in college, we remember Jimmer Mania. The difference is that we had 3 years of Caitlin Clark's Jimmer Mania, and they made 2 massive championship runs. So, we can't just say it's because of X, Y, and Z. Is she the best female college basketball player ever? Maybe. I don't think she was probably better than Breanna Stewart coming in. But as far as guards are concerned, she's the best guard I've ever seen in female college basketball. And I watched those good Notre Dame teams. I watched UConn when they were winning all those championships. She's been the best guard. Unless you want to consider Elena Delle Donne a guard, she's probably been the best guard I've seen. And Elena Delle Donne wasn't a league guard. You can maybe say she was a wing more than anything. And I'm someone that's been watching women's college basketball since the early 2010s. We've never seen anything like this. And there's a reason why she is constantly as one of the most favorite players. And you've even seen it in the All-Star votes. For everyone being like, people are just there for Caitlin Clark and they're not going to watch all these other players. They just want to use Caitlin Clark to dunk on WNBA. They're not real fans. But you can see by the All-Star vote that there's actually real fans coming in. There are literally 7 times more people voting for All-Stars this year that voted last year. 7 times more. 7 times more. And these people are voting for Aaliyah Boston. They're voting for Angel Reese. Katie Lou Samuelson has more votes this year than at the same time Aja Wilson did last year. You can't say that there's not been a huge growth. And the fake fans are going to leave. The fake fans are going to leave very soon. As soon as somebody they don't like wins a medal at the Olympics, probably Sha'Carri Richardson, the fake Caitlin Clark fans that want to spew hate are going to leave. And I don't think the pretend Angel Reese fans that don't watch the game of basketball and want to pretend that she's this super exciting offensive juggernaut when in reality she's a really damn good role player. I don't think they're going anywhere soon, but like I think it's going to get to the stage soon where it's like, okay, it's just almost where when the Caitlin Clark idiots leave, when the Angel Reese idiots stay, it's going to be just sound as ridiculous. Right now, it's just two groups of idiots going at each other, when the reality is like neither side are watching the games of basketball. And for the people that are watching the WNBA, and yeah, there are people that aren't going to be excited by it. Like there are probably some people that tuned in to watch Iowa and are like, oh, I don't like this. And they feel they need to dunk on the WNBA because, I don't know, just as an ego boost or something. Like, let's be real. Yeah, sure, NBA might be more exciting to you, but like neither me or you guys are better than any of these players. As far as skill wise, obviously you can just use genetic. You can make the genetic argument, not the skill argument. But at the end of the day, it is crazy what it has done for the WNBA. It's crazy what it's done, what this rookie class, obviously spearheaded by Caitlin Clark, has done for the league. And look, it's crazy what this has done for my channel, for me. Like, you're looking at a channel suddenly that is at nearly 10,000 subscribers in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, the WNBA season in 5 weeks. I had 1,000 subscribers before that. And I'm really enjoying making content. And look, I'm somebody that is watching all these games. I watched the Wings against the Mystics just to see how bad the Wings are. They're historically bad. Like, people in my comment section were like, the Mystics are literally, I got a comment yesterday saying, I think yesterday, like 4 or 5 hours ago, and goes, you clearly don't watch the games. The Mystics are by far the worst team in the WNBA, and you're giving Caitlin Clark a pass for beating the Mystics when you're saying that the Wings, Angel Reese's game against the Wings was a given. I was like, no. Just like I said yesterday's game against the Dream was a given for Caitlin Clark when they were missing Howard. The Wings right now might be the worst WNBA team in a long time. Like, the Wings might not win a game the rest of the year. I think they lost by 30 to the Mystics today. The Wings are garbage. The Mystics, whatever, are 3-13. Cool. They're 3-13. They started off 0-11. They're 3-2 in their last 5 games. And they've they beat the Sky comfortably enough. Actually, no, they didn't. Sorry, maybe you missed a free throw. Whatever, I think whoever they beat in their first game might have been the Dream. They beat them comfortably, and they killed the Wings today. As well as that, they've been close in every game. They nearly beat the Liberty. This is the best last place team we've seen. Like, the Mystics are better than the Sparks. The Mystics are probably better than the Sky. The Mystics are currently better than the Ryan Howardless Dream, and the Mystics are currently not that much worse than the Fever. I'm not gonna lie, especially when Sykes comes back. And jeez, just off the top of my head, one of their best players is out. With the way Ariel Atkins has been playing recently, and with how like Melbourne's been playing coming off the bench as a young player, like they are, and like Dolson shooting the lights out, like they are a team. They're not that bad. Like, they're probably the eighth or ninth best team. So yeah, obviously idiots all around not watching the games. But the reality is that this sport is growing due largely to her, but you also have to take into account, look, there are fans there for Angel Reese, there are fans for Cameron Brink, there are fans for who are Iowa fans that love watching Kate Martin. There have been fans of all these other players. The Aces and the Liberty themselves have huge fan bases. They're probably the only two teams with a major fan base, but they have the major fan bases. Throughout the years, there's been so many WNBA players putting respect on the game to put the game in a position where a Caitlin Clark is able to elevate the game. Because if the other players hadn't brought women's basketball in a position where it was at least respected as a talent level and a skill level of the sport, if that wasn't respected, what Caitlin Clark was doing would be just seen as, oh, it doesn't really count, it's women's basketball. But they all brought the sport up to a point. Caitlin Clark has exploded into the stratosphere. And even the way she's playing right now is incredible. But you're going to see more throughout the years of Paige coming in. Paige is exciting. Flau'jae is exciting as a player. You've got Juju is extremely exciting as a player. And you're going to be seeing more and more women come in with skill sets comparable to the men, especially as the guards get better. Like, the post players are always going to be there. This has been a real post-centric league. And the best guards in the WNBA have been spot-up shooters and they have been passers. Whereas now you're seeing crossover, hezzy, tween, pull up. We are 3-level scorers in like a Juju who can just flat out score. And it's just so smooth while doing it. You're seeing these players that are archetypes of NBA players in the men's. There are these players coming through in the women's side. These young players coming through. And it's only going to be more and more with the promotion of the sport that are literally just, as far as skill level is concerned, not that much different from the men other than athleticism. And obviously, Caitlin Clark is leading that. I mean, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.